down, little Sheba, down. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. Another good swing, another good approach shot.
Settles in over the putt. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. Has this now for bogey. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Now here at the par 4 8th, slight dogleg to the left, Frank.
And this dogleg's made more severe now by the addition of 2 bunkers. This was a bunkerless hole off the tee in years gone by, but those 2 bunkers certainly make this a sharper dogleg. And because it forces the player to go down the right side, adds length to the already long 475 yards.
Beautiful looking shot right here. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, even at major championships, a good crowd on a single day might be 25 to 30,000. Consider this for just a moment. At the TPC Scottsdale in 2013, round number 3 on Saturday, almost 180,000 fans jammed into that ballpark.
It's hard to imagine that's twice the gate at a Super Bowl on a golf course. Now, obviously, some of it's hidden because of the size of the acreage, but golf just doesn't get that type of crowds anywhere else in the world. But it works at TPC Scottsdale. They have a crowd that keeps going back. They have the Bird's Nest, for example, that goes there, the parties that ring around there. It's an atmosphere that golf never gets anywhere else, but it really works here. The players feel it too. They breathe it. And this is 1 week of the year, just 1 week, where they do feel like superstars.
It's a mix of soft spikes and stiletto heels. There's nothing quite like the TPC Scottsdale.
No, Rich, that was a huge putt. You don't expect to make them from that distance.
Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. There is now 1, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep, too. So judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Chance to get it close here. It is a windy day out here, Frank. My hat just blew off. This is going to affect the players' shots, that's for sure. Frank, is this one going to be okay?
Yeah, just a little right. Seemed like good contact.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Getting set now to start one of the most exciting back 9s in all of golf on the PGA Tour here at TPC Scottsdale, beginning with the 10th.
If you stand on this green, Rich, and look backwards, you realize how severe this dogleg is. But from the tee side, it's a sharp dogleg to the right. It's actually a layup down the left side, and then a second shot around the 150, 160 yard mark in. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
She's ended up on the fairway, and with such a good lie, so many more options available now. Second shot, good look at the green.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just a couple of feet. Still playing even for the day after the par. Now at the par 4 11th, Frank, I really like this hole.
Well, you might be the only one, Rich, because this is an absolute scorecard wrecker. Water all the way down the left side. There's two bunkers. Don't worry about that. They're not off the tee. They're around the green. They protect the left front and the back. If you think you can bail out down the right side, well, you could find cactus and all sorts of crazy things down the right. And believe me, go down there, more than anything, they'll wreck your scorecard as well.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Setting up for an approach shot here. Frank, the beauty of the game, the changing conditions. You've played it all over the world, and you don't play it inside a dome, do you?
Yeah, anybody can play on a fine, still day, but what separates the good from the great is actually days like today. That's when that little extra attention to detail, the better strike, the better swing, is certainly going to pay dividends.
This could be a good one. Knocks it up on the green. It is about 28 feet away from the hole.
Even par currently.
Pretty good effort right there. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That is a solid par putt. Par 312 may not be as famous as the par 316th, but Frank, you think this may be a tougher and even better hole?
We see more bogeys and double bogeys here on 12 than 16 will ever see, and courtesy of the water behind and to the right of the screen. If you're going to bail out, find one of those bunkers. Well, a good bunker player obviously can get it up and down, but it's still no snag trying to record your par 3 at 12.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Birdie try up next.
Second shot.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Steady as she goes, another par, and still even for the round. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular sight for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill.
Appears to be what they call a commercial. Okay, no problem with that one. This is a good hole, Frank, the par 4 8th.
Yet another dogleg left, Rich, on the front side. And it's a sharper dogleg now because they've put in 2 bunkers down the left side. It used to be a bailout area for the players in the past. You can't do that anymore. And I doubt anybody can fly it over that left one. It's nearly 3.
And let's see what she's got here. She is loading up for the big one. But this one's sweet, Frank.
Super. Smoke that one.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
This is a good lie, 155 yards out.
Oh, this is right at it.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the wet. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
good effort and a good par putt. Finishing out the front side now at the 9th. And Frank, what do you think of this par 4?
Nice way to finish the front 9, Rich. Very thin green, protected by that little splash bunker in the front. Iron players get a real advantage here. One bunker down the right side to be aware of off the tee, though. I doubt anybody could carry that. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Yeah, about 145 yards left here. Good looking shot right here. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
So they'll tap in. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Frank, the handicap system in golf really is the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no sport like it. I can't imagine going to Wimbledon and playing, sort of Djokovic or Federer or, playing NFL with Peyton Manning. But, the beauty of golf, we can go out in a golf course. We decide what our handicaps are on the first tee. We decide who's going to get strokes, and then off you go and play. And you play on a level playing field.
Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Pretty good shot right there. Settles in over the putt. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Don't forget third round coverage coming your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long for now. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green. This is a good-looking shot. What an outstanding shot that was.
Got the right result, too. It's just a tapping. Even par, currently.
You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Here we are now at the 11th. Has not been a stellar performance to this point, but Frank, not too bad.
When you consider 4-round events, Rich, you're going to have a period where there's a little lull. As long as you can minimize the damage over the course of 4 days, it turns out all right.
Second shot, good look at the green. This could be good. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. And now, pretty good chance for birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. She's starting to play well. That's a birdie. Now 2 under on the leaderboard. Frank, 574-yard par 5 scoring opportunity here.
The breeze behind, once again, a reachable par 5. The hardest thing about this hole really is the green. It's raised up a little bit, slopes off on either side.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Frank, that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and get any more out of that. Smart shot.
So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5 12th, hit shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
These putts keep the round together. Come on. Don't do that.
Cruel lip out.
So just a formality here. holding steady now at 2 under par. Frank, the par 4 13th, relatively short, but not necessarily easy.
Yeah, stringent tee shot. A lot of people are tempted to take a bigger club off the tee. 300 yards runs out of the fairway, but really, what does that give you in?
Not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Starting to move now, Frank, on this leaderboard.
Certainly going all in the positive direction. He's in the middle of the pack, now top 15.
That's the end of round 1, and we saw a lot of good golf out there today, Frank.
And it was a bonus to anyone that got off to a good start today.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Its second-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. We're at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge in Orlando, Florida, site of one of the PGA Tour's premier stops, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Always attracting a great field, and through the years it has been the scene of just some championship play from one guy in particular.
Tiger Woods has won there an incredible 8 times.
At the 15th hole now at Bay Hill, this is a massive dogleg, Frank.
Yeah, if you're a Bubba Watson type player and you can move the ball around, you can move it left to right, that'll certainly help the tee shot. If you're average Joe, though, just hit it down the left. Take your medicine.
Frank, what are you looking to do with this approach shot here at 15?
Anytime the flag's on the front, Rich, it's basically green light special. When the flag starts to get pushed towards that back area of that green, it starts to get narrower and narrower and narrower. And that's where you've got to be a little careful. Oh, this is straight at it.
That's a really good line. Well, that's how you play the game right there. You knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. He'd settle for par here. And getting ready for the putt. A good effort, a good par putt. Is this a good risk-reward par 5?
It's more about the second shot here. It's probably the most demanding second shot on the golf course.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good.
Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Second from an excellent lie. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Well on the green, but far from the hole.
Yeah, a little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here.
Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Just ideal. Good speed on that putt and just a tap in remaining.
Well, that'll put the smile back on the face.
Frank, par 3 17. Daunting shot. What are you thinking as you step onto this tee?
Just make 3. 2 is a huge bonus. Take 3 in a heartbeat.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Setting up for an approach shot here.
Arnold Palmer's legacy to golf is in so many different areas. We see it just in the way people react to the game, but really when we go to Bay Hill, it's the one golf course that you'll see you've been out there, his clubs are always on the back of the cart. He's ready to go to the range. It's almost in every little blade of grass out there because Arnold plays there whenever he can. The king, whatever you want to call him, Mr. Palmer. He lives and breathes at Bay Hill. And when the tournament comes around every March, it's a great reminder to not just Mr. Palmer, but also the golf course and all those little obstacles that he put in your way, water normally, and all the great events. And it's fun. It's a golf course, too, that anybody can play.
And when I think of Arnold Palmer, I think the young professionals could learn just a few things from one of the all-time greats. First of all, reach out to the galleries, sign autographs.
Look him in the eye,
make eye contact as he always did. Number 2, own your golf swing. Whatever it is, believe in it. May be a little different. It may not be by the book, but own it and be comfortable with it. And then I think number 3, go for it. That's what Arnie always did. Go for it at the risk of failure, because you'll never be great if you just lay back all the time. Arnie always went for it.
One little lesson, too, you reminded me there. The one common denominator with just about every great player is a good grip. Arnold Palmer learned that for his dad. So if you're picking up a golf club for the first time or playing it for the 100th time, remember, a good grip will take you a long way.
Moving a little to the right of the flagstick. Wouldn't call it a great approach shot, but it still ends up in the fringe.
A little bit of magic from here. Yeah, the hole's not over.
Pretty good shot right there. Getting set now over the putt. Well, not in contention, but in for par. So that is the end of the second round. I can't wait to get back at it tomorrow, Frank.
We got a great leaderboard right now, Rich. So many players in contention. Golf course, there's enough blend of good and hard holes. Really, it's up for grabs.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Well, you're breathing a sigh of relief. Your round wasn't sunk at the par 5 sixth, and now you come to this par 3. It's just a little under 200 yards.
Yeah, aiming at the middle of the green's not a bad thing here, Rich. You can always putt to the corners and have a birdie chance.
You take 3 and walk off this hole to the 8th?
Well, you could get a little greedy. A tee shot in the middle of this green is not too bad. You'll still have a birdie putt.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. On the green, and a chance for birdie. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Just a bit offline and into the bunker.
And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag. I mean, the first rule when you're in a bunker, forever and a day, get it out.
Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
Let's move on to the 8th, and Frank, what's ahead here?
Big par 4, just over 450 yards. Ideally, you want to get it down by that bunker where it's nice and flat, because that second shot, you know what's coming up.
Yeah, let's see what she's got here. She is loading up for the big one. Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball. Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Not in the fairway, but not too bad. Just in that first cut. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Drops for a birdie. Final hole now of the front side. It's a 474-yard par 4. And Frank, you've played it before. What works best here?
Well, ideally a nice little draw off the tee. But the hole's quite weird because the tee shot shapes to the left and yet the green goes the other way.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
This is the second shot at the par 4. Had the club face open just a bit at impact, and that one moves considerably to the right of the flagstick. Looks like he just misread that. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well done. Get those ice blue skies. How do you get off to a good start here on this second 9?
Well, really, you've got to pick a target here. You don't just blaze away at the 10th. The hole bends to the right. If you can get it over that bunker, you've got just a short iron, even a wedge in here.
That ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Let's see what they do from 140 yards. Frank, this is what they call a short field, just 120 players, because it's an invitational, one of only 5 tournaments on the PGA Tour with invitational status.
Yeah, it's not just any invitational, too. It's an invitation from the king. And there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Early part of this second 9 and a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. For her birdie.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
These putts keep the round together. That is a solid par putt. Now to the par 4 11th, just a shade under 440 yards. Where are the difficulties here, Frank?
The water down the left, but the hole keeps going that way, almost in a semi-horseshoe fashion. 2 bunkers down the right, they always catch the stray tee shot, but once again, you don't have to hit driver here. You've got to get that ball in play. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
She had a good shot off the tee, and now she has all sorts of options available. Let's see what she does here. Frank, the second shot here at number 11, another good-looking shot, not unlike the third hole with water along the left. What's the right way to play this?
Obviously, you'd like to walk off 11 with 3, but 4 here never really hurts the scorecard. This is one hole you sort of play with an orange light feeling. A little right of the flag, that's absolutely fine.
Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Good putt. Frank, the par 5s here at Bay Hill so important. What's the 12th like?
570 odd yards. Tee it high, let it fly. took off the face. Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5 12th, hit shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. In for par. Day 3, and what a tournament this is shaping up to be, Frank.
Quite simply, great weather, great golf, great fans, which is the perfect mix for a golfer trying to win a tournament. The final round, if this is anything to go by, has to just be sensational.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Welcome to the King's Palace, Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Club and Lodge, Frank, right in the heart of Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, for so long it has been the showcase for Florida golf. Of course, the King's Palace, and it has produced many a great champion over the years.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Now the approach shot, par 4, 15th hole. Frank, break it down.
Green narrows up the further back you go, so the most generous place to land the ball is in the front half of this green. It's also the flattest section of the green.
Lay down.
That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop. It's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
So a tester from 4 feet. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Back on the tee here at the 16th. It's a par 5. Bunkers, water all along this hole. Doesn't look to be a gimme par 5.
Now, you've got to have your wits about you. If you just look at the yardage, you'll think it's the easiest par 5 on the golf course. And then, before you know it, it's got you.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special.
This one starting down the right does not look like it's going to draw back towards the flag.
But it will catch the green. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Be very happy with that one.
Yeah, lag putt, I mean, really, it's unrealistic to try and make those. So anytime you can two-putt from there is a good result.
Frank, where has that been?
Yeah, thank God for small mercies.
Always like this par 3, Frank. Par 3 17th. Let me amend that. I like watching the best in the world play it because it can be daunting, especially with the pressure ratcheted up.
When they have the tournament on, this green is brick hard. A little bit downhill, that's about the only advantage you get.
Headed for the bunker? Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. Frank, par 3 17th here at Bay Hill. How difficult is this hole?
This one takes your best tee shot, Rich. Otherwise, you're just looking at 4 or 5.
Oh, I love this. She is winding up. Just wants to tear the cover off this golf ball.
Oh, if this is up, it's good.
It's a good spot right there.
Center cut. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Moves into the top 25 with that birdie. That'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. It's opening round coverage of the Alberta Classic. Heading out to the action now, we pick up with our featured golfer at hole number 10. Been a steady performance so far early in this first round, but at some point, Frank, they need to take steady to spectacular.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Rich, and really sooner rather than later, that's for sure. But, yeah, steady becomes boring if it stays on for too long.
This one has a chance to be close. On the green, and a chance for birdie. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Settles in over the putt. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. So off the long par 3/10, we are at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4, Frank.
It looks like a straightaway par 4, Rich, but if anything, the hole actually bends to the left, and you really want to follow that natural contour of that. Just sort of draw it off those bunkers on the right, or just simply carry it over the ones on the left. But ideally, down the left side, it avoids that pine tree that's further down. Oh, that's fine.
This becomes a different kind of battle out there today with these strong, gusty winds. Players will have to think, they'll have to take extra club, and this will not be easy.
This one just starts right of the flag.
Beautiful approach shot there and a good chance to take advantage. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Steady as she goes, another par, and still even for the round. Here at the 12th, par 4, 442 yards. Frank, what's ahead?
This one's called Big Bow. Hole's certainly a lot longer than the 10th hole, which is Little Bow. Doglegs to the player's right, a couple of bunkers down the left side. That first bunker on the left shouldn't be too much of a problem to carry. But once again, even though the hole bends to the right, you'd like to be down the opposite side of the fairway, which is the left.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Just 5 feet left. Now headed in the right direction into red figures at 1 under par after the birdie. 13th hole, par 3, 225 yards and heavily bunkered around that green, Frank.
It is, but that green gets narrower as the hole gets longer. Nothing wrong with hitting the ball sort of the middle part of the green here.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Frank going for 2 in a row now. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
And getting ready for the putt. Ooh, good effort right there. Almost made it. So they'll tap in. So with that, the score is now at even par. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Today, it's live second round coverage of the Alberta Classic.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Well, you have to be thinking about birdie here on this approach shot at the 6th, Frank.
A good aggressive tee shot, pretty close to the narrow neck of that green. Awkward, whether you try and hit a little pitch and run or try and hit a lofted wedge and sort of pitch that ball a little closer to the hole.
Well played here, went straight for the flagstick, and she will have a nice putt coming up. These putts keep the round together. Don't leave it short. Wow. She needs this for her par. Good effort and good par putt. Well, Frank, this is the longest hole on the golf course, 602 yards, obviously a par 5, though guys like Rory have to be thinking about making an easy 4, getting home in 2.
Yeah, you referenced it. Longest hole on the golf course. Yet Rory McIlroy still...
Hold on here a second. She is winding up for a big one. She wants to smash this as far as she can hit it.
There's something about a well-hit shot. Oh, huge.
Woo-hoo.
Huge with a capital H.
Busted that.
Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Now the second shot to the par 5. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, a chance to get home in 2 here on this par 5?
You would think so after a good tee shot, Rich. A very long, narrow green. The best shot would be to hit a nice, high, towering second shot, but anything that pitches on the front is going to skip forward. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That will be a great look at birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. This can be a cruel game at times. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Even par, currently. Oh, good roll, good putt.
Frank, you like this kind of design feature where you go from the longest hole in the course immediately to the shortest hole.
Certainly, golf giveth and golf taketh away. This is just minimally uphill, just a couple of feet, but you can see from the overview the design of the green. When that flag's on the right, it's a little bit of a longer carry, so just be a little cognizant of that. You don't have to hit it directly at the flag.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. So a tester from 4 feet. Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Now to hole number 9, 501 yards. It's a par 5.
Yeah, we finished with the third par 5 on the front 9. You're just going to come through those sort of shoot of marvelous trees that define this fairway. Just avoid the right side. Something down the left side is going to open up the second shot. Nice.
Looks good. Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway? Frank, as we get set now for this second shot to the par 5 ninth, what are the options for the player?
The biggest thing to take into account, Rich, is just that the general terrain in front, because you can always use that to your advantage. I know the green pitches from left to right. You've got 2 choices. Just sort of aim it a little bit left, let it kick down the hill. We'll just try and sort of turn it back towards the flag.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
something happens, that's good.
That's a nice shot right there. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Good-looking shot right here. Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that. And keep that club moving. That grass is going to be that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. This from about 10 feet. Those keep the round going, those par putts. That concludes the second round here at this amazing golf course. And Frank, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
I certainly am as well. The players have gotten off to a very good start, and they must have a good feel for the course right now and know what they have to do in order to win.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Alberta Classic. Well, Frank, how about this hole? 602 yards of par 5, although I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. 602 yards these days for a long hitter.
What do you say? It's a drive and a 7-iron?
That's a mid-range par 5.
Well, yeah, 2 woods, the longer hitters will definitely get at home there, especially in good conditions. But bunker down the left, avoid that, carry that, and then we can think about the second shot.
Obviously, Frank, you want to hit good shots at a place like this, but you also want to take some shots. You want to snap off a few pictures because it's breathtaking.
I thought you were talking about big game hunting there when you were saying you don't want to shoot these animals. They're beautiful. No, yeah, it is. It's wonderful to come up here and play golf.
Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Always like to watch the second shots, Frank, in high-level golf like this to a par 5, and here we are at the 7th.
You get rewarded with distance off the tee for a start. This is a huge green from front to back, rather narrow from side to side, but you're right. A nice towering second shot is certainly going to be well received into this green.
Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Pretty good shot right there. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water. Frank, only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15 foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there, maybe just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie.
And this is looking really good. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. In the hole, and a birdie. Just love the variety here on the front side, Frank, coming off that short par 3 8th. Now we go to another par 5 to round out the side, 501 yards.
And the third par 5. Interesting front 9 here. 3 par 5s, 3 par 3s, and 3 par 4s. This one, not the longest par 5, but still reachable. This one, you have to be a little bit careful, though. This is probably the toughest driving hole on the front 9 with regard to par 5s.
Just a good, solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, a lot of exciting shots on this opening side, and here we go again, second to this par 5 9th.
Got to look at the green down the other side, Rich. Pitches a lot from left to right, so 2 choices. You're going to hit a normal shot, you've got to aim that a little left of that flag. Either that or draw it back towards the flag and into that uphill slope.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Not close, but not bad either. That one's about 25 feet away. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. That's good work right there. Just a tap in. From about 8 feet. Stroke that with authority. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We are back on this beautiful day here at Banff Springs in the Canadian Rockies. Set to kick off all the action on the back 9. The 10th begin with a par 3, Frank, 218 yards.
And I have no idea why this is called Little Bow, because over 200 yards, you really have to bow up with this tee shot here. That's for sure. Bending there, you need something that comes out of the gate very, very straight and with a decent height on it as well. If you want to land on that left side of the green and make it stop.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Continues to roll it very well all day long. Now to the 11th hole. It's a par 4, 417 yards. Frank, what's the key here?
A nice little draw down that left side would be the ideal tee shot. The carry on the 2 little bunkers down the left side really isn't overly long, but that's the desired entry into this green.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, the beauty of golf, we're not playing inside a dome with no wind. You have to be able to handle the elements.
You do, and that's really where the better player comes through. On a day like today, anything around par is going to be a good score, so just adjust your own mental par.
Wow, really off the mark. Missed the green here. Solid play, heart of the green. In for par. Frank, what are we looking at here at the par 4 12, 442 yards?
Players are really focused on that bunker down the left side. That's the one that has to be either laid up, which would be 286 yards off the tee, or sort of worked off. This could very well be a 3-wood off the tee. Just hit it straight at that left bunker.
She really hit that tee ball nicely. It is in perfect position, and now she'll have a chance to capitalize. Second shot, good look at the green.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Ooh, good effort right there. Almost made it. So they'll tap in. Cleans that up in the hole. Frank, what's a player feeling knowing they have one more round to go and they could have a chance at making a run and maybe win this thing?
No, it's a great feeling, Rich. At this point, really, it's just about whether you can handle the nerves. You know everybody up there is going to be feeling them.
This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Golf Channel on NBC and EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Alberta Classic. Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed to that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
That will be a great look at birdie. This is an 11-foot putt. This is a pretty good performance right here. 6 under for the tournament. Frank, looking out here on the 15th hole, this looks like a spot where you could really crank one that you could tell your buddies about.
It's another hole that suits a player that hits the ball right to left. It's no surprise to see why Rory McIlroy plays well around here. Nice, big, high towering draw. It's going to go that extra yardage because of the elevation.
Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough was really deep. Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. How you maintain momentum, make those putts for par. Frank, the 16th hole, 414 yards, par 4, is nicknamed GOAT. Would that be greatest of all time, or is it just because the possibility you could see old Billy out there here in the Canadian Rockies?
I'd like to think it's the greatest of all time. I've never seen a GOAT hit a draw, that's why, and that's what's needed off this tee once again. The first bunkie should easily be able to carry that, and, well, if you're the greatest of all time, this is a fairway, you're certainly hit.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, club selection so important on this second shot here at the 16th.
Yeah, any time that the elements don't work in your favor, and by that I mean here the false front, everything rolling back, then you've got to actually be more aggressive, and you're going to get the reward. So it's not like playing reckless golf, it's just the terrain dictates that you fly the ball every inch of the way.
Good, clean contact, and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up.
It's no snack, though.
That wasn't a gimme, but it sure made it look easy. Now to the 17th, 374 yards, and Frank, players might be licking their chops here.
They certainly would, Reg. Bunkers left and right, but they can be carried with an aggressive tee shot. It'll set up just a short iron into a green that pitches towards you. So maybe just a little bit underneath the flag with a second shot. And really a chance to have a fast finish.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
This could compound very, very quickly, so now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out.
Just a couple of feet. Good putt. Well, Frank, this sets up for an exciting finish here at Banff Springs, a 578-yard par 5.
There's just about a bunker in play for every length of tee shot here, so know exactly which one you can carry and exactly which one you cannot reach. That's fine.
Well, she's firing on all cylinders right now, has really played mistake-free golf. It has been a pleasure to watch. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. This one just requires a little bit of focus. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, Frank, but that has to feel good. Frank, we did see some good golf out there today, but others really struggled.
Yeah, any competitive player wants to win. We don't doubt that, but we know you're not going to win them all. So it's still important for every golfer to continue to gain experience, to actually get something out of each and every tournament they play in.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the International Challenge. Frank, you come to an Open Championship and you expect to hear the term gorse. You see it here on the 11th hole. If you do end up in the gorse, what can you possibly do to get out?
Well, anything you can. A lot of the times it's an unplayable lie, but if you remember back 2004, Ernie Els tried to play a ball which was suspended about 3 feet off the ground and managed to flick it out of the sort of the thorny gorse.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards. Surely not.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Oh, this is a huge putt. It's in.
Back here on the bonny shores of Scotland at Royal Troon Golf Club with just a wee breeze, as they say over here, Frank. On the tee at the 12th.
Yeah, hole that bends to the right, gorse right and left. There's a bit of a mound and rough down the right side. That has to be avoided. What a great shot.
She really hit that tee ball nicely. It is in perfect position, and now she'll have a chance to capitalize. Second shot, good look at the green. Good looking shot right here. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here, because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Getting set now over the putt. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
For par. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. And now to the 14th hole. That's where we find our featured golfer. Frank, it's only the first round, but you're a believer that these can be as important as the final round.
Well, if you get yourself in contention, Rich, then obviously you get the momentum much easier and the feeling of being in the hunt. That's going to give you the adrenaline rush, and you'll breeze through 4 rounds.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. With authority, count it. Has a par and 2 under. At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are short of this green. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Second from an excellent lie. Get down! Lay down! Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
And setting up here in the rough. Pretty good shot right there. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. Frank, they gave us a great show today.
No, they certainly did. Course played well. You got what you deserved out there.
Some outstanding performances. And for our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the International Challenge. Moving inland now, Frank, the par 4 7th hole. Do you even think about carrying those bunkers on the right?
Not really, Rich. You're trying to work that ball off the left side, because if you get caught up on the hills there on the right, then all of a sudden you can start making 5s, 6s, and all sorts of weird and wonderful numbers.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is. That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, you've been around this game for a pretty long time. Are players, in fact, more athletic today than they were, say, 20, 25 years ago?
There's no question, Rich, they are. That we've borrowed from other sports. If you can't make the player better, you can make them more athletic. And in the end, you're still making the golfer better.
Fraction off the center and headed to the right. It has been a ball-striking clinic today, hitting one green after the next. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So a tester from 4 feet. They'll take it. That's a par. And what happened here in 1973?
The old squire, Gene Sarazen himself, made an ace.
He was 71 years old playing his final Open.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
It's not all bad. Not a problem there, Rich. Even par currently. Really solid stroke.
Frank, the ninth hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standards. You looking to make birdie here? Or you happy to make a par and move on to the back nine?
Well, there's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the ninth is the raised green. And it's sort of, there's two tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
Well, that sets up well for a chance at the green here at the ninth. Yeah, about 145 yards left here. Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
A few more birdies like that, Rich, you never know, just might sneak placed on the podium.
In the top 10 right now. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Hold on here a second. She is winding up for a big one. She wants to smash this far as she can hit it. Excellent looking shot here.
Long just met longer. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
This one's looking good. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
Sniffing in the right direction.
Frank, this 11th hole can be a real bear. Even the Golden Bear knows that.
Yeah, just to remind him, in his rookie year in 1962, he made a whopping 11. Now, I can't remember the last time I heard Jack Nicklaus made double figures on one hole.
Yeah, so maybe a bogey 5 or even a double bogey 6. Not so bad. Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, there was another playoff at Royal Troon 2004 in another case where a Hall of Fame player was beaten.
That's right. That was Ernie Els versus Todd Hamilton. Todd Hamilton had won Honda earlier in the year. He'd left the Japanese tour, and he'd gone to the Open Championship actually full of confidence. But unbeknown to Ernie Els, he was going to be beaten by the use of the utility club. Remember, Todd Hamilton, time and time again, when he would miss the green, would chip with the utility club and beat Ernie Els in that 4-hole playoff.
And now we see so many players using that shot from just off the green. Just a couple of feet.
One more birdie, and now tied for the lead. Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live third-round coverage of the International Challenge. Rich Lerner back with you here at the fourth hole at Royal Troon, and this is a hole, Frank, that offers up a real scoring opportunity, a par 5, first one of the round.
Yeah, it's the last really easy hole you get at this opening start. 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right, but you can easily carry that one on the right, especially with any helping breeze. I'm loving that balance.
Good contact, good result. She had a good shot off the tee, and now she has all sorts of options available. Let's see what she does here. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll. All things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf. Now to the par 3 fifth. Frank, what are you trying to do here?
Really, anything on this green is going to give you a birdie putt. So allow for the bounce and roll. Just avoid those 3 bunkers on the left and that short one right.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
It's at sneaky distance.
Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
Clean this up with a tap. In for par. Frank, it's all about the difficult rough off the right-hand side of the green here at the hole they call the slopes.
Yeah, 600 plus yards par 5, so really you don't want to be flirting with that right side.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
315. Frank, golf may be the best sport to follow from this standpoint. You can get closer to the great athlete in golf than you can in any other sport. You could stand 5 feet from Tiger Woods at a tee box as he's getting ready to drive. I mean, that's really unusual in sports.
Yeah, it's a different type of spectator sport, especially if you follow your favorite player all the way around the golf course. Because it's not like waiting for your favorite hitter in a baseball game. You know, you've got to wait several innings. You can literally see him hit every single shot, drive through the putt.
Third shot, looking for a good one. That will be a great look at birdie. And getting ready for the putt. Player knows they're on the move with that birdie. quick glance at the leaderboard, they can see, Frank, they're not out of it.
Things are very volatile right now.
Moving inland now, Frank, the par 4 7th hole. Do you even think about carrying those bunkers on the right?
Not really, Rich. You're trying to work that ball off the left side, because if you get caught up on the hills there on the right, then all of a sudden you can start making 5s, 6s, and all sorts of weird and wonderful numbers.
I love this. She is winding up, just wants to tear the cover off this golf ball. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the International Challenge. Frank, through the years, there have been some great winners at the Open Championship played at Royal Troon.
Well, just in recent history, remember Mark Kalkovecchia in the playoff with Wayne Grady and Greg Norman. There was also Todd Hamilton when he beat Ernie Els in the 4-hole playoff. And back in 1996, Justin Leonard used to win his Open Championship.
Tom Watson also won an Open Championship here. Tom Weiskopf, his only major, that was 1973. The great Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke, they all won at Royal Troon. Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Second shot. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Chance to get it close here. Well, Frank, the wind is really starting to pick up.
You've got to fixate on the direction now. If you get the direction wrong and or mistime one of those gusts, all sorts of problems.
Pretty good shot right there. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Oh, so close. Struggling a bit with the flat stick and a drop shot here at the 15th hole. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Not her best effort, walks away with a bogey. The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997 playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it onto the green from behind the burn. That was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3.
Second from an excellent lie. Safely aboard. She's played some solid golf today. See if she can keep it going with another birdie. Has it. Now to 7 under for the tournament. 17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's no snack, though. That looked like it nearly got below the lip, the level of the lip there.
Can't believe that one, Frank. That was a complete horseshoe right there. So that's a drop shot. Great finishing hole here, Frank, at Royal Troon, the 18th.
Really, it's all about the tee shot. If you find one of those pot bunkers, then the best you can do is lay up, and then you're looking instantly at least a 5. What a great shot.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Frank, this is a hole, number 18, where you don't want to be in a hurry to get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's out of bounds just off the back of this green, so you might want to keep that in the back of your mind. Don't go long.
Yeah, OB is just steps from the clubhouse. Appears to be tracking well. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Go ahead and do that. What a putt. Well, that'll wrap up our coverage of the final round. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports. We'll see you next week. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Today we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo set to bring you all of the action for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. And Frank, what can the players expect from Wolf Creek?
Just a mesmerizing layout, Rich. You can see that from above. Straight driving is imperative out there today. You actually don't have to hit the ball a long way. The elevation on those tees is going to give you that extra distance on almost every shot. You can even take driver out of play on some of the holes. But really it's about being in the right position first on those tee shots that you're going to hit today.
Let's see what she's got here. She is loading up for the big one. Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball.
Ooh, that is long.
Wow, Frank, that was an absolute bomb right there.
Yeah, what's longer than long? Because we just saw it.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Pure strike, good result.
Right, and that is close.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Even par, currently.
Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
This would be one drop shot for her if she makes it. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Let's get back to the action at the 5th. Frank, what have you seen in the early going from our featured golfer?
A little bit of a struggle, unsurprisingly, really. Rich, just a little messy. This wasn't to be expected. Time to sort of tighten all the screws there, have a rethink, and try and put some red numbers on the board.
Frank, what are the factors that go into playing at elevation?
Well, first of all, try and factor in how far you are above sea level, because that's going to create the thinner air where that ball's going to keep traveling. Plus, in the desert here, we get warm air, so the ball's going to go even further. And in Wolf Creek makes it even harder because they give you these elevated tees. So it is a little bit of a guessing game, but the fun part is, though, when you stand on a tee like the second hole that's 9 stories high, and you tee it up with a driver, you really can hit the ball close to 400 yards. That's the fun part about it.
Frank, you think about the great rivalries in sports, the Yankees and the Red Sox, Ollie and Frazier, and in golf, Nicklaus and Palmer. Great athletes, great teams pushing one another to great heights.
It's amazing how that's gone forward too, because Nicklaus and Palmer really became Nicklaus and Watson. Then there was like Norman Faldo, but some would say that Faldo Ballesteros, 6 majors to 5, was even more important. But in this era that we're in now, I think we're all praying for that Woods-McIlroy rivalry. Woods with 14 majors, McIlroy already with 4. That really is one to salivate over.
Get down, look out.
It's over. The green. I mean, this skill and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Those are painful from that distance.
Yeah, just another one added to the card. Big mistake.
Getting set now over the putt. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes, once again, are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go, we all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. From the rough, just a bit to the right, though.
The ball always starts where the club face is pointing. This one, just right of the intended line.
And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies.
Now, as they say, 300-yard drive, 1 shot. Miss a short one, also 1 shot.
Yeah, that's painful. Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop-off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
Frank, through the years, we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day, but they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. And getting ready for the putt. Two over for the day. Frank, this is the kind of hole that you like to drop a bag of balls and just have fun. Hit it all day long as if you were at the range. Unfortunately, you only get one crack, and you better be good. This is a tough hole.
Well, if you find the water, actually, you might get another one off there. It certainly is a tough hole, though, Rich. The stream going all the way down the left-hand side, and that wraps right around the left and behind the screen, makes that tee shot, well, it certainly makes you think about that tee shot while you're on the tee. Prudent play, aim for the right edge of the green. There's nothing wrong if you just miss the green on the right, but miss the green by a yard on the left, you pay a very steep price.
Wow, what a day. Every green hit in regulation. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that, just over 300 yards. Either that, shorter hitter just play to that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play. into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance, even with a wedge in hand, to get the ball close. A good way to finish the front nine.
Frank, as we look at the approach here at the ninth, what do you think the best play is?
Well, unless you've laid up off the tee, Rich, you're only going to have a short shot into this green. You don't have to loft it too high. You can use the full length of the green. So something coming in a little bit lower and bouncing towards the flag is probably the best play.
That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. So 1 over par for the round. Well, that about wraps things up for us here today. I'd like to thank my partner, Frank Nobilo. Enjoyed it, Frank.
Certainly did, Rich. Once again, the golf course provided more than a stern test.
And for the entire team, I'm Rich Lerner. Until next time. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. On to the 11th hole, we're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there. Surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards, very playable, and you never know, today might be the day where you make birdie. Be safely on deck.
Well, she just played a wonderful shot from back there. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Well, we'll never know if that had gone in because it never made it.
She'll be happy with par here. Good par. Now to the par 5, 12th. Pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, called water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. And then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again, back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but...
Oh, I love this. She is winding up. Just wants to tear the cover off this golf ball. Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Green in regulation. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
When you consider the length of that putt, it was a good putt.
These putts keep the round together. Frank well off the pace, but the true professionals, they keep digging, trying to get better. 13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees, but very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
There are a number of really good and important grow the game initiatives out there. One of those is the First Tee program, and that allows youngsters who otherwise might not have an opportunity, the chance to put a golf club in their hands, allows them the chance to pick up this game and learn some of the core values that come along with it. It's about much more than making a score. It's about integrity. It is about responsibility, values like that. And this game is just so good in instilling those kind of characteristics in young people.
That is burning through the atmosphere. Look at that thing. It's got a tail on it.
That's like a rocket ship. That one was launched by NASA. Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Settles in over the putt. Are you kidding me?
That looked like it was in.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. That's a bogey putt, dropping down the leaderboard a bit, now at 2 over par. Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards, and what a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side. Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? Do you hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
No, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
This is a good-looking shot. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. That's good work right there. Just a tap in. She has this attempt for par. In for par. Frank, too many missed shots and now a missed cut.
Yes, it's disappointing, but the experience gained from playing this course really will be invaluable. Now's the time, just pick your head up and move forward. There's always another week.